Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Faith Loop. Appreciate you being here today. Dad and I are recording. This isn't live, so had to head out of town today. So today, you're seeing this on Memorex. And for those of you who are old as us, you'll get the joke.
You know what you mean, yeah. Yes, sir.
So we thought we would hang out, talk about some news and notes, what's going on around, and see what we can comment on some of the things that we see around the globe. It is day 2,112,498 of the crisis of identity, and I think we're running farther and farther away from who we are, what we were created to be, and the understanding of that. I don't think Christianity has helped. I don't think any of the forms of faith that we claim have helped in any way, shape, or form. And I think it's tragic, and you think you might hear that and go, wait, what? How does that even register in your brain? And I think that's hard because we were going through some stuff today, and there's a group called deconstructionists out there, and people think, well, you're a deconstruct. No, I'm not any of that. I don't think I think most of the stuff like that is tragic because there are people that ask the right questions, but we hold on to the wrong foundation. And this is, I think it's terribly tragic. We've talked about this. I remember we were in Puerto Rico and Dad was doing a series and talking about these things. And I remember he drew on the whiteboard a house and how this, but if the foundation isn't correct, you can't make the house look like this.
Nope.
And this is what's interesting is when you start from the wrong foundation, that's what's problematic. And if you deconstruct whatever faith but hold the same foundation, you're going to get the same result. And this is what is problematic throughout the world.
Yeah, well, Jesus said there's only one foundation. Paul said it. So there's only one foundation, and that's Jesus. And he said, be careful how you build on that foundation.
And this is our point to these things. And let's just take a look at some headlines here. And I think
that one I thought was funny there.
This is what I mean. You know, this is the Christian Post, and this is the lead article for the day. Chief DC exorcist says UFOs likely demonic. Warns against losing sight of Jesus. Y'all lost sight of Jesus at Nicaea.
Yeah, boy, that's no lie.
That's the point. Who serves as chief exorcist for the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Washington, joined the growing chorus of Catholics and other Christians warning that UFOs and related phenomena are likely demonic. I don't even know sometimes when I look at Ann Wilson. I don't know if you know who Ann Wilson is. Ann Wilson is the one half of the sister duo from the band Heart from back in the day, 70s and 80s.
I think I've heard of that band.
Ann and Nancy Wilson. Ann Wilson on faith, identity, and standing apart. Being a rebel means choosing God over people. language matters. I have terrible, that to me is being a rebel. We weren't called to be rebellious. In fact, that's what has gotten us into trouble. If you have a mind of rebellion to choose God over people, that still isn't it.
No.
That's not, and this is what I mean. We have such a tragic look, and because the foundation is incorrect at.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by rebel? Yeah, I choose the Lord and His truth over what anybody else might say that isn't right, but that doesn't mean I'm a rebel. I'm not rebelling against people. I'm trying to help them.
And that's the thing. It says with her new book, Rebel, following Jesus when the world walks the other way. Well, that doesn't make you a rebel.
No.
What it makes you is a child of God.
Yeah.
Let's use that terminology.
A true believer.
We think we still have to act cool, and
Yeah.
man, I'm a rebel for Jesus.
No.
Where does that say that in the biblical narrative?
Nowhere.
What did Jesus call you? Friends. Well, man, we've got to do this. That's the way the world. No, how about we use the right language, talk the right way, share the right message, and be what we were intended to be. Let's just do that.
Yeah. Simple, isn't it?
I would think that.
Yeah, I would think so. Jesus wasn't a rebel. Who did he rebel against? Well, he told the Pharisees. Yeah, he told them the truth. But when Nicodemus came to him, did he throw him out? Did he say, "You Pharisee, get out of here. What are you coming here for?" No, he talked to him, told him. He asked him a legitimate question. Jesus gave him the right answer.
I go back to this because in the Genesis narrative, revolt is a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We are on the wrong side if you're in revolution. Rebellion is as the spirit of witchcraft. I think it was said through the prophet.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Jeremiah, wasn't it?
And stubbornness like idolatry.
Why do we want to use this terminology? Why do we want to use this language to define ourselves? It's wrong. I know these are hard things to say because I'm sure Mrs. Wilson means well in one respect. She's not trying, but this is what's problematic. And so we run around in this tumult all the time. I'm out for the revolution. No, we're not in revolt. In fact, if you've crossed over from death to life, you are out of the revolution and into the side that is true.
Right.
I'm no longer a rebel. I'm no longer in rebellion.
No.
Just because the world walks the other way, they're the ones in rebellion.
Yeah.
In fact, why don't you just say righteousness, following Jesus when the world walks the other way?
I know. But we got to use those terms. Because that's cool, It's
Here we got a ban on Trump's ban, on trans troops unconstitutional. I didn't know that was even in the Constitution.
I didn't either.
A federal appeals court has blocked the Trump administration from removing trans-identified service members from active duty while a legal challenge to the policy moves forward. That's important.
Well,
I mean, that's got to be important.
No.
I mean, This is the headlines. Cartels. Indigenous authorities fuel religious freedom abuses in Mexico. Organized criminal groups and indigenous community leaders operating outside of constitutional limits are driving systematic violations of religious freedom in Mexico. While the government at every level is failing to protect those at risk, according to new report by a UK-based human rights organization. I am absolutely shocked.
Yeah.
Just shocked.
The president before the one they have now, which is a woman, which is really strange in Mexico. I mean, not that I have anything against a woman being a president. That's not it. But it surprised me in Mexico. But the one before, I saw film and pictures of that president standing on the street of one of the major cities in Sonora. On one side was the military with him. On the other side was the cartel. And he walked across and was shaking hands with these leaders of this cartel and making friends with them and saying, we're not going to fight. You're good. You're okay. We're not going to do anything to you.
It's cash money, man.
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you something, Dad. Do you really think that if the U.S. military wanted to, we could stop drug trafficking?
Well, sure we could. Oh, sure we could. If we really wanted to.
Then what was the war on drugs?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. What's curious to me is the cartels are rich beyond what we can even imagine. I mean, they're rich. They're wealthy. Well, you know, only a few people using drugs. You know, these poor guys out on the street, you know, down here on the street in Skid Row in L.A., you know, they're all using, that's the drug addicts. Right. Uh-huh. Yeah, tell me about it. You got to sell more than 10 or 20 packs, folks, to make the money they got.
Think about how criminally what would be the word I would put behind that? Careless the mind of a drug dealer. Somebody who knows that it creates all this harm and destruction.
Doesn't matter.
And yet, I would bet real money. We say we don't catalog and whatnot. Well, man, we're gonna knock. We're gonna take care of the drug problem. We're gonna. How much of the world do we believe? And I'm going back to this. This is Christianity Today. Look at these headlines. We got a DC exorcist says UFOs likely demonic. Cartels indigenous. We got constitutional trans. And we got rebellious faith. We've got down here, you've got, can the world live with a nuclear Iran? So why are you asking that question? When we take a look and see the scope of these things that are there, Dad, I have to ask myself, what do people, do we really believe what people say when they stand up in these nations, these halls of governance that says, oh, we're doing this and we're going to do, well, we got to do, we're doing this and, you know, our policy, and we've got to really work with them.
Yeah.
What do we truly believe? Do we believe these people that they actually have your best interest in mind, for one? And two, what have they solved?
Nothing.
Honestly.
I particularly like that one up there.
Which one?
Where did I see that? No, it was down a little. There was something there. That's not there. There's a little one farther down. There.
Oh, yeah.
All the credit to the Lord. How a small town Arkansas man got God on America's money. Do you know the German soldiers were "In God We Trust" on their belts? On their belt buckles. They did.
Yes, they did.
Many of them.
Yeah.
In God we trust. Right. That's important. That's, oh my goodness. I should just be shouting the victory over that. It's just, how much nonsense can we, just nonsense.
Yeah, because I guess we're going to get a $250 bill with Trump's face on it. I don't know. I heard that somewhere. I don't know. I mean, we definitely need that.
That's what we need. I want one of those. Oh my.
See, and this is all part of the, and the Museum of the Bible, launching new exhibits as part of the Bible in America 250. That's going to, you know.
That'll wake us up.
America 250. 5 major events celebrating the nation's semi-quincentennial. Justice Clarence Thomas just issued a warning every American needs to hear. Oh my gosh. Tell you. How many more warnings are we going to get? Here's the other thing that cracks me up, Dan. You know, going back up here to Iran here, can we live with a nuclear Iran, right? Going back to, I think it was Clinton, Bill Clinton was in office, for crying out loud. Netanyahu and all the folks in Israel are talking about how, you know, Iran is close to, you know, within 2 years of getting a nuclear weapon, and we just can't allow that. Man, I tell you, within 5 years, I mean, it's close. They're gonna. You start from 92 till today. That is the rhetoric. May I ask a question? Do they have one yet? I didn't see that you destroyed anything or stopped them. You never said you stopped them. We can't allow, we've got to keep whatnot. Well, those things, that's why we said it, because, you know, we've stopped them from doing it. Really? You sure? I'm tired of being told something over and over and over again, like I'm stupid.
Mm-hmm. They were 2 weeks away. They're 2 years away. They're this away, that away. I mean, and that was back in Bill Clinton's presidency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been more than 2 years. Hasn't it been more than 2 years since then?
I'd have to take my shoes off.
Yeah, I'd have to. Get a chalkboard.
Get some new math.
Get some new math.
We'll whittle it down. No, it hadn't been 2 years yet.
Figure that out.
I mean, we'll do it like they do with the biblical times. You know, well, you know, it doesn't really mean a full year. It only means like 30 minutes. You know,
right? Yeah.
So in chronological nuclear time, it's only been about 2 years.
Right. That's it.
Oh, yeah. I'm just... nonsense, Dad.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing in the whole political arena. They'll start saying stuff. Well, go back and listen to what they said back then. And listen to what they're saying today. They say whatever they think is convenient. For crying out loud, Hillary Clinton made the statement that Trump would be a great president. She did. I've heard the tape.
Yeah.
She said it. But when she ran against him, all different. All different. So, wait a minute. Do you mean what you said or not? No, they don't mean anything they say. It's behind the scenes that they're looking at, not what they're telling people or the public or the United States or anything else. Go back and listen to them, and then listen to them today. They say whatever they think they need to say for the moment. That's what they need. That's what they do. And then we trust these people. These people are the ones who are going to save America. They're going to pull us out of this. They're going to do this. They're going to do it. Everyone that's ever been in there said the same thing. They're going to save America. Does America need saving? I don't know. It does, but
From
not in the
what?
sense that we think of
Yeah,
it.
from what?
You're right. From them. That's what we need to be saved from.
Yes, we do. We need Jesus.
Yeah. Amen.
And salvation is there, but not salvation in the way that you think.
No.
The salvation that Jesus brought was from death. But we don't talk about that.
No. Well, they don't believe it.
No, not really.
No. No.
Here's one that I thought was particularly interesting, and it was from our good friends at Christianity Today. The more progressive group, I wouldn't even maybe call them progressive. They're just liberal. They're very liberal. More Aquinian than Augustine. This article written by Trevor Sutton, Theology. Christian theologians react to Pope's AI warning. Well, fantastic. Leo the 14th called AI another Tower of Babel. Theologians from a range of traditions, Baptist, Greek, Orthodox, and more, have varied views. Well, and here's the thing. There's sometimes, every now and again, somebody says something that is kind of, yes. I do not think Pope Leo has any idea of who Jesus is, and don't think that he is the vicar of Christ or any of that. I think he's just a dude. But this right here, see, it's interesting because this is a true statement. And this is where we talk about false prophecy and things like that. You don't seduce people. And I say this that way. I do not believe that in these situations we are deceived. Can a person be deceived? Yes. And I think there have been times, but I think it's very, 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 very minimal, maybe 1-2% for this purpose. For instance, I was watching a documentary about Bernie Madoff, right? Remember, he had one of the biggest Ponzi schemes went on. This guy, Bernie Madoff, was a member of the Securities and Exchange Commission. I think he sat as the director at one point. He was on the SEC board, and the guy had the biggest Ponzi scheme going on ever. That's how much these brilliant people knew. It's amazing. And people, people lost millions. There were people out there warning, don't buy this guy's stuff. This is bad. This is not going to last. It's wrong. And the red flag sending people doing this all the time. If it's too good to be true, exactly. No. You were seduced by the wealth.
By the greed.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And you are seduced by your own lust and taken away by it, I think the scripture says.
Yes.
And we use the word deceive because we don't want to take responsibility for our actions.
Right. Right. Oh, I was totally unaware. He deceived me. No, you were greedy. And you thought, wow,
yes,
I'm going to get rich.
Yes, exactly.
And didn't look at it.
We are easily seduced.
Yes.
Which is what the word beguile is meaning in Genesis. Mm-hmm. Not deception.
No.
The adversary seduced me.
Convinced him.
It was seduction.
Yeah.
And this is a similar way they do this. I agree. I don't have any problem with that, Tower of Babel, because they are making a name for themselves. I agree wholeheartedly. But you don't care. You don't have the right name either. Pope Leo X in 1520 described Martin Luther as a wild boar from the forest, destroying the church. Pope Leo XII asserted in 1824 that Bible societies produce a gospel of men, or what is worse, a gospel of the devil. And in 1883, Pope Leo XIII encouraged devotion to the Rosary and to the Virgin Mary. We don't know why, because none of that is Jesus. So I don't know what to tell you there. Yet Pope Leo XIV's recent encyclical, Magnifica Humanitas, is getting some love from the broader church. This papal encyclical, published on May 15th, asserts the magnificence of humanity in the time of artificial intelligence. Okay. See, right there, that shows you that this gentleman here, I don't even know his name. I just, Pope Leo, whatever. I don't know his name. He's a humanist. Leo declares that humanity can choose one of two paths, either building the Tower of Babel or rebuilding post-exilic Jerusalem. What's that got to do with anything? See, you err not knowing the scripture yourself there, bro.
Right. Yeah.
Have you not read Revelation?
No. If they did, they wouldn't understand what they were reading anyway. So, because it's so biased, their minds are so biased that they're going to read it for what they think it says, not what it says.
So this is why we can't do soundbite stuff. Yeah, he said that, but this is the reason why he said it. So you have to understand his mind, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you got to understand what he said in totality. You can't just take one line and say, "Oh, look at that! That was really good." No. What did it come from? What was he thinking? Mm-hmm. Where is it? What prompted that statement?
Mm-hmm. Because I want to go back to something Dad said yesterday on Inside the Faith Loop, because I jumped in on the conversation, and I want to make sure people understand. I completely agree, and this is why I am very much the way I am about things. And I'm going to be very direct and to the point when I say this. I think I grew up this way. When Dad would be talking about issues and things and the narrative and truth, very much about what things mean and how you say them, and what does that mean within reality, within truth, within the real world. And I don't think we do that very much within society.
No, we don't. No. We don't. We're constantly guarded. We guard ourselves. We don't want to say this or say that because we don't want to appear this way or that way. We don't want someone to take us wrong, so to speak. So we talk around everything. Unless we're talking about something specific like a job or something we've got to do or this and that and the other. But in general conversation, like just, talking, whether it's about politics or the society we're in or whatever, people don't really, most of the time, and it's been my experience, they don't really say what they're actually thinking.
We're purposely vague.
Yes, to get purposely vague. Yeah, because we don't want to offend, hurt feelings, have somebody upset with us.
Right.
After all, they're my friend, and I don't want to say this or that and the other. But we shouldn't. If we really understood things, we shouldn't have to talk that way at all. We should be able to say what we say, and people understand that we don't mean offense by it in the sense of offense, but we're simply stating a truth. That's what Jesus did. He just simply stated truth. If they were offended, it was their fault. He wasn't trying to offend anybody.
Right.
But he said, many of you will be offended because of me this day, because of what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And he said it anyway. The offense was they didn't understand or know what he was talking about, and they refused to understand it.
We've discussed this on many occasions, Dad. And it's why we talk about advocacy. Jesus is the advocate, and he's defending us before our Father. How does mankind who has no excuse put up a defense? See, those two things are diametrically opposed, right?
Yep, they are.
So when you talk about that, why Jesus could say that easily, because he knew if you didn't let go of those things, this would be offensive to you. But we have offended, we're the offenders. Jesus, yes, he isn't defending the truth though.
No.
He's just simply sharing the truth. We sit, sorry, Pop.
Oh, it's okay.
We sit and call, that's the big thing today is apologetics. We're going to defend the gospel.
Right.
Jesus didn't spend his time defending the good news, did he?
No. Or trying to prove that the Old Testament was true.
No. In fact, they were right there with him. Yes, we were there. Moses, man.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They weren't sitting around doing that stuff.
Today, we're sitting around arguing over who was what and what was who.
And I believe this. I wasn't there, of course, and I didn't hear him say it, naturally. But, see, I don't believe the prophets actually prophesied in anger. I don't think they were angry. I don't think they were mad at people. I don't think they were upset in that sense of the word. They were simply stating what the Lord told them to say. That's
Agreed.
all. When Micah was brought before Ahab and Jehoshaphat, he wasn't upset. He wasn't angry. He told him, go up. The Lord's give you the battle. And Jehoshaphat says, wait a minute, prophet. Come on. Tell us the truth. Okay. You want to hear the truth? Here it is. I see Israel as sheep scattered on the hills. They have no shepherd. Ahab's the one that got mad. And that false prophet walked over and slapped him across his face. He wasn't angry. He was simply stating what the Lord said. So, yesterday morning, after we did the program, Pam was had her phone, and she was showing us some of the stuff that people are saying, some of these so-called pastors are saying. Okay. Now, there are people that would disagree with them and just get mad and angry. You boy, I'm not mad at them. I'm not angry at them. If I met them, if I was standing in front of them, I would look at them and say, you know what, the Lord rebuke you.
Yeah.
Because you are to be rebuked.
Yeah.
Not
Agreed.
Not in hatred.
No, but in the mind of correction.
Correction, trying to
Yes.
stop them from the fallacy of what they're saying.
Yeah. Agreed, Pop.
That their soul might, or their life might be saved. This is
Out of destruction. Boy, you ain't kidding.
why aren't we just, it's not in anger, it's in love, actually, telling them, look, the Lord rebuke you. Mm-hmm. That's wrong. And you need to straighten out. You need to repent.
That's true compassion.
That's compassion. That's caring. That's caring. But we're not going to care like that because, after all, we can.
I may offend them.
Yeah, I might offend them.
Maybe.
Probably will. In fact, they would probably get angry.
Yeah. Unless they didn't receive it, or unless they just like, no, I disagree with you. Thanks. You don't know, but most of the time, a mindset like that does get angry because it is diametrically opposed to the truth.
Yes. Absolutely. And when the prophets would actually prophesy something on someone that actually happened, like, be dumb, don't speak. And they couldn't.
Yeah.
Be blind. And they were blind and couldn't see. I don't think the prophet did that in anger. The prophet just was saying what the Lord told him to say. Now, if the Lord's angry, that's up to him. And he has that right. See, I don't have that right. I don't have it. The Lord has the right because he's the creator. We are his. We belong to him. And he has a right to be wroth with us if he chooses to. He was angry with the people at the mountain. He told Moses, get away from me. I'm going to go over here and wax hot, and I'm going to destroy these people. Well, he could do that because that was his privilege. But he even repented of that and turned around and said, okay, because of what Moses said. He said, okay, Moses, I'm going to give him a shot. I'm going to give him, but you tell him this. And we don't have that right because I didn't create anybody. That's my son, but I didn't create it. I didn't take mud and make him and breathe into him.
You're not the originator. You procreated.
I procreated, but I'm not the originator of creation. Therefore, it is not my right to be angry, to kill, to hurt, to destroy, to do that. I'm here. Now, if what I say offends and it makes somebody mad, that's up to them. Should I tell the truth? Yes. Should I always speak what the Lord tells me to say? Yes. Whether it cuts, hurts, blesses, or whatever it does. That's my responsibility, but not out of an angry mind, not for the reason of just, you're wrong, you lousy so-and-so. Oh, no. No. It's in the sense of trying to straighten. This is what the prophets did. It's what Jesus did. He tried, he simply said the truth, and they couldn't handle it. They got angry enough. They killed him finally. They murdered him for it.
We have to be very careful because building this Tower of Babel or rebuilding post-exilic Jerusalem, I think leads to the same thing. Encouraging us to take the latter path, Leo said, let us not be afraid to get our hands dirty on the construction site of our time. Well, I'll tell you, he that builds the house labors in vain, him who builds it. We're not the builders of the house. Father is. We didn't originate this house.
Nope. And as I said Sunday, we're looking toward the wrong house most of the time. That out there,
And this points right to that,
right,
Dad.
that out there in the house.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he even brings it up. Who does Leo invite to this construction site? Everyone. This encyclical is decidedly ecumenical. Coming from the Greek root okios, house. The word ecumenical means the entire world or the whole house. Leo's audience for this encyclical is not just the Catholic Church, but the entire world, he stated. I addressed this heartfelt appeal to all Catholic faithful, to all Christians, and to all men and women of goodwill. I will ask everyone to abandon the construction of yet another Tower of Babel. Well, I will tell you, folks, what we see and how this works and where those things are, it's just a way to continue in the same vein of seduction, moving us towards the same end, the same goal.
Right.
And that's not the answer. It's just not the answer. Perhaps unsurprisingly, theologians from Protestant and evangelical traditions were mixed in their reactions to the Magnifica Humanitas, ranging from appreciative to critical. And I'm sure everybody's got something to say. But in the end, we're not here to build our own kingdoms.
No.
We're not here to build exilic Jerusalem. That's not there. All of these things, none of them are of which are within the biblical narrative. The house is about the bloodline. And it's understanding that we've been given that great gift. And it's right here in this tent.
Yep.
Not made with human hands.
Right. Not made with human hands.
Jesus is that stone. He is the chief cornerstone. And we must all come into that foundational structure in order for us to live.
Yep.
That's the message, period.
That is. That is.
Whatever you hear, this or that, that's got to be the foundational piece. Because if we don't build the house on that foundation, we do it, it's empty. It is of no value, Dad. Except
the Lord build the house. They labor in vain that build it. Well, what does he mean by that? Well, that's the Lord. You know, he's doing everything. He's doing this for us. No. Except we build it like the Lord told us to, then we labor in vain. And this is the problem. Most of modern Christian institutions today are building on the wrong foundations. The foundations aren't proper. And therefore the house isn't the house. It just isn't.
There's one more I'll finish here.
Sure.
Charisma Magazine. Don't leave them out. Temple Mount Chaos. Priests carry out ancient biblical offering amid arrests and clashes. A group of Jewish temple activists and Kohanim, which I find fascinating. Kohanim. That means priests. Okay? And that's what they said. Priests. Reenacted the biblical Halakim, I guess, or 2 loaves offering on the Temple Mount during Shabbat, despite the site being officially closed to Jewish visitors. Very interesting there. And I find it fascinating, Kohanim. When Titus came in and destroyed Jerusalem for the last time, until we've seen it here, records gone, whatnot, do you even know if you're a Levite? They don't even talk, because honestly, how can you be called a Kohanim if you're the house of Judah?
Can't.
Because a Jew is not, it's only 1/10 of the house of Israel. 1/10. It's the house of Judah. That's where the name comes from, Jews. You can't be considered a Kohanim unless you're a Levite.
Right.
So how can these people be priests? Do they know? If you're called a Jew, then you're a Judite from Judah. Explain that to me.
Think about it.
I'm just saying. So none of that would be acceptable to Jehovah.
No. No.
According to the report by Israel 365 News, the operation involved months of preparation, rabbinical consultation, and coordinated planning. Participants entered the Temple Mount carrying specially prepared loaves and priestly garments before being confronted by police and Arab worshipers. And you can watch it on X right there. Ariel Cohen, the Cohen who performed the waving ceremony, it's a wave offering, described the scene as chaotic. During the entire ascent, there was chaos, Cohen said. At least 3 young Arab men beat members of the group and tried to block their path. Participants said chairs were thrown at the group as many as they ran across the Temple Mount attempting to complete the ritual. Israeli police later arrested 13 of the 14 participants and confiscated the loaves. Elijah Nachman Cohen, who served as the backup Cohen, said the group believed God helped them complete the ceremony despite setbacks and arrests. We truly felt the hand of God, he said. And the activists viewed the event as part of a larger movement toward restoring temple worship in Jerusalem.
Huh.
The temple belongs to all of the Jewish people. This is not private matter, he said. So there you go. So what's going on, man? And I know the Hebrew people, the Chinese people, Arab people, what we call Indian people, and there's really only 3. So let's just do that: Caucasian, Oriental, and Black. And it always said Negroid. Those were the 3 species. Well, we call them species, but 3 races of men.
Races of
That's
men.
what we say. Okay, fine. But isn't it mankind? Isn't it still all the same? And the blood that is there, we got that from Jehovah, period. What are we still trying to divide? What are we still trying to accomplish? Why are we still trying to make our own name? Whether it be in the name of their God, this God, that God, what does it matter? There's only one strength. There's only one creator. Agree or disagree with that, it's up to you. You've got to make those decisions. All I'm talking is from a perspective of what the world has created concerning worship. And we're fighting and hurting people over these things. Is that,
Yeah.
necessary? If somebody came into... See, I think it's fascinating, because I don't believe there's any holy places. I don't believe in a holy place.
No, I don't either.
Man, Jerusalem, gone. I'm not going to put my name there. I will write it in their foreheads and my instruction on their inward parts. I will be their strength, is what that is. Elohim. They're all their strength, and they will be my people. That's what Jehovah said.
That's what he said.
So why am I worried about a place? I need to worry about being what Jehovah created me to be.
Right.
That's my concern. If we would do that more, I think we would go a long way in making a difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Last words?
Well, you know, it's not a place. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what city you're in. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It doesn't matter anything about that. It's who are you as a person, and what house are you looking to? If you're looking to the governments of the world, the nations of the world for your salvation, then, friend, you're in a sad state, because they don't have any answers, and they're not going to give you anything in that area. And if you're looking for that there, you don't get it. These cities, these places that people hold, and there are places that other nations hold according to what they believe and their religion and so forth, whatever. But what's that matter? Doesn't matter. What matters is, have you repented? Are you born again? Do you have the bloodline now that you need to have? Have you been given life, and that more abundant? That's what matters. It doesn't matter where you're at, what country you're in, or anything else. What matters is, do you know the Savior? Do you know Jesus? Have you committed your life to Him? Have you been born again? That's what matters. That's what matters. And if you have, then you need to look to that house. Jesus said the kingdom is at hand. He didn't mean that it's just going to be set up right there, but it's at hand. It's here for you now. Understand what the kingdom is. Look toward the right house. Look toward the right house. Because that house is the only one that's going to stand, and it's the only one that has life.
Hope you enjoyed the discussion today, folks.
Amen.
We'll be back next week. We'll be live next week, I believe. I'll be live today. But anyway, we won't be recorded. We won't be on Memorex next week. So there you go. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, if you like what you see, whether you're on Rumble, YouTube, whichever the case may be, subscribe. Take a moment, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, share it out with your friends. Send us questions, comments. We'd be happy to talk. That's what we're here for. Yeah. So, again, thank you, and everybody have a great day in the Lord, and always remember to give love.
And give life.
And give Jesus.